we're going to dive into right now. And it's really very simple if you think about it like this. You're going to sell high. Hopefully you've captured a lot of value on your business, whether it be a highly appreciated stock, whether it be a primary home, investment property, cryptocurrency, something that's highly appreciated. You're going to sell high. So hopefully you've already established that. You're going to move the funds into the trust, right? We're going to defer the tax. That's key. And we're going to set the trust up before all of this happens to make sure we're following the guidelines. And then we're simply going to invest the funds into what? Well, multiple things. It could be stocks, bonds, mutual funds. It can be passive or active real estate. It could be hard money lending. It can sit in the bank for a period of time. And no problem, right? The key is we want to make a return on that money. We want to diversify the risk, and we want to try to make some cash flow going as soon as we can. But here's the key: at any time, right? So there's no restrictions on having to replace the equity into something, or have to buy something that perhaps is overpriced, right? Kind of like the 1031 exchange, which is part of the first secret, right? If you didn't catch that, we'll be going over the first secret, and we have before, but this is the second secret, okay? So the funds are placed into the trust. We're diversified. We can also be liquid if we stay in liquid investments. We do need to also keep some liquidity. But the key is this timing piece, right? And the idea is, if we can dollar cost average, if we can diversify, if we can lower your debt, that's what starts to create this transformation, right? This is what starts to lower your risk. Right now, I think most people would agree, and at least a lot of my clients definitely agree, and my business partners, that we're at some of the all-time highs. And we don't know how long the government printing money, and propping up the economy perhaps, or if the economy is going to do just fine. I'm not sure. I'm not an economist, but what we do know, values of real estate, values of businesses, things are record highs. And so why not sell, pay off your debt, diversify your wealth, and then dollar cost average into different investments, right? So diversification is one of the key components of lowering your risk. And I like to say lower your stress, right? When it comes to you're building your wealth. Okay. So we're going to sell your asset at all-time high. We're going to diversify into different investments. And we're going to give you now, hopefully, opportunity to enjoy your wealth. And what does that mean? Well, it's different for different people, and different clients have different, phases and chapters of their life. Some of my clients are in their 30s and 40s, and they're still in the wealth creation. They're still in the, starting a new business or exiting an existing business. They've worked for, 5, 10, 15 years on, and they're looking for that next chapter. So for some of them, the trust becomes the equity or the amount of money that can be used to start that next business venture. So for example, we just did a deal in Alabama for a client. He sold out of a company for a couple $1 million and deferred about over $500,000 of capital gains tax. And he used those funds that he would have paid, again, to the IRS to fund his next business venture. And why would the IRS allow that? Well, they allow that because they want to spur the economic growth. They want to spur more jobs and more tax revenue. So it's a win-win for them, and it's a win for my client. So he was able to sell high, diversify, and the transformation for him was, wow, I can use the money that I would have to maybe go borrow from the bank, or would have to go get another partner. Oh, I can actually just JV partner with my trust. And it's not borrowing from the trust. Very important to understand. You're JV partnering with the trust. And when I do it in that order, wow, it's all tax deferred, and I get to launch my new business. And his new business was building apartment complexes. And so he's building right now 72 units in Tennessee, which, by the way, happens to be a place where a lot of my friends and family are moving, in the Nashville area. I've been there a couple times. Beautiful place. Probably really cold right now, given what's going on with some of the weather. We're recording this right now in the middle of February. Been a big, cold snowstorms, really tough things going on in that place. Part of why I'm in California is the nice weather, but also one of the challenges is the tax. So all that being said, I kind of digress there, but he used the funds to fund his next business venture. Okay, I like to call it to go fund yourself. So for him, that was transformation. For another client of mine, they had a beach property they bought like 25 years ago, and older couple, and they are looking to retire from the toilet trash liability. This one happened to be on the coast of California, and for them, they had debt on the property, and they had kind of maximized the value. I mean, I'm talking the value went from about 900,000 to about $8 million, okay, over this 20 plus year period of time. Incredible amount of appreciation, incredible amount of gain, and also which means incredible amount of tax. And so for them, it was not only capturing high values, paying off the debt, but they couldn't make sense of the 1031. So the transformation was what? It was twofold: tax deferral. It was retirement, right? Being retired. It was not having to overpay. And then it was diversifying their wealth. So they took this huge gain out of one property. Also, part of it too is COVID-19 hit, and Airbnb restrictions are becoming harder and harder for some places to rent. So you couple all of these things together and you go, man, how do I get out without getting hammered? Well, the Deferred Sales Trust was that option, the best option for them, and they did that. So that was part of the transformation. So I don't know what the transformation looks like for you, or for your family, or for your wealth, but it could be, in fact, getting out of debt. It could be starting the next business venture. It could be just diversifying your wealth. It could be a number of things. The key here is we want to help you clarify what is most meaningful to you, and what the plan would be to map out a wealth plan that serves you and your family best. Which leads me into my my last part of a deal story, and I always like deal stories, right? We've talked about how to clone a wealth plan, and what I like to say about that is we typically have a pretty good template, and I work with some amazing financial advisors on the securities front, guys from PIMCO, and PIMCO is one of the largest money managers in the world, and they focus on risk, and I feel like they think in a way that it is better than I think in a sense. Or I'd say it's just different than I think. They think at a higher level when it comes to stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and that part of the world. Whereas my world has always been real estate. It's always been cash flow. It's always been, construction with my dad, and owning those type of assets, brokerage, commercial real estate brokerage. And so what I love about that is we bring both kind of teams together, and we say, hey, how do we achieve a lower amount of risk, a nice amount of return, a nice amount of cash flow, and together work as a team to instead of just, one superstar financial advisor or one superstar commercial real estate person. And that also helps to, I think, lower stress and create a better outcome for clients. So how are you building your team? How are you lowering your stress? How are you lowering your debt? How are you getting on the sidelines and diversified? These are all part of the questions to ask yourself to build a transformational wealth plan, and or just look at some of the clients who've already built it. I mean, a couple thousand closes now, over with all the deferred sales trust closes, and we can look at wealth plans that have already been built that have similar characteristics or similar life circumstances that you have, and give you great ideas. And so we can sit down for 5 hours. Typically, is what I like to say: 1 hour first call consultation call, 1 hour to understand the deferred sales trust, another hour to help you map out or envision your wealth plan, and then an hour to close, and then an hour to place the funds. I mean, literally about 5 hours of your time with us, we can architect and build this wealth plan. So that is secret number 2, optimal timing, transformational wealth plan cloning, how to clone a proven wealth plan with capital gains tax solutions in less than 5 hours and become time, energy, and debt-free. All of a part of our 3 secrets to an optimal timing, transformational exit or wealth plan. Okay. So if you are interested, you can go right now to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com, and where you can learn more and more about the Deferred Sales Trust. If you are a business professional listening to this, you can go to experttaxsecrets.com, where we coach and we train commercial brokers, financial advisors, CPAs, business brokers, luxury realtors on how to build their business using the Deferred Sales Trust. Go to experttaxsecrets.com for that. Hey, I appreciate you being a part and listening. I'll look forward to connecting with all of you real soon.